Hello guys. In this video I wanted to talk about Synology and their recent decisions surrounding their hard drives and limiting functionality for the users, and why I think this might be a very bad idea. The news are actually a week old, but I learned about it yesterday and I watched Louis Rossmann's video. It's a very nice video, and if you want to educate yourself a bit more about the topic, I highly recommend you watching it. But in this video, I will touch upon the subject of Synology and their decision in the first half, and in the second half, I want to tell you how it's, in my opinion, much better to build your own home server, and in some cases it doesn't even require a lot of building, and it will give you more functionality, more flexibility, and I would argue more value for your money than Synology devices. So let's dive right in. First of all, what is Synology as a company? Well, they produce, they are famous for producing network attached storages. They don't only do that, so Synology actually also produce devices for surveillance, for security. They produce software for backups, reliability, and network hardware. But for the sake of this video, we will focus on these devices, which are, let's say, the network attached storages, or also called sometimes as home servers for consumers, for the end consumers. And it can be like small businesses or big businesses, and in some cases it is just end users, normal people who want to have them in their homes. And what happened sometime like last week, so almost a week ago, is that Synology announced that for the Synology Plus NAS hardware that will be released in 2025, this hardware will not have full support for third-party drives. So if you have something like Seagate IronWolf or WD Red drives, which are very popular for storage devices, they will only receive limited functionality. If you install only Synology's own hard drives, so the one that are either owned by Synology or certified by Synology, you will get access to the most advanced features, including hard drive health reports, volume-wide deduplication, lifespan analysis, and automatic firmware updates, which is very funny because all these four things is something that you expect you would get automatically in any kind of device in 21st century. Especially jarring, at least for me, is that for the network attached storages, so things that you trust to handle your data, that often protects your data and makes sure that it's reliable and available as available as possible, will not have drive health reports, but also not volume-wide deduplication. And this is a very jarring thing because volume-wide deduplication basically allows you to save space if you use multiple hard drives in your network attached storage. So in short, if you have a device like this, which is a disk station from Synology with 6 hard drives, your data that you store on this device, on the network drive, will be spread through the hard drives so that it's always available. As in, if one hard drive will fail, then the data is still there. You only need to replace one failed hard drive. Because there might be duplicated blocks, that is identical blocks, there is this software, method done to deduplicate your data. So your original data, as you can see, it has some duplicated blocks there, and you can imagine this is spread around all your drives, and when it is deduplicated, you only let's say save specific instances of the data so that you don't save any excessive and not needed data. It's a very complicated thing to do, let's say programmatically, but it allows you to save a lot of space. And it's weird that Synology basically selling network attached storage solution that should allow you to utilize your space as efficiently as possible does not offer these things. Now, of course, you might as well just buy their own hard drives, and I'm pretty sure that companies and business clients of Synology, they will just continue to use their products, and they will just buy Synology's hard drives, especially since the prices, they're not that different. And I think primarily a drive for Synology in this case is to just, well, drive their margins up. So just to earn more money now also on selling their specific hard drives, with the premise that user will get more features, when of course features are something that they cut from all the other users. So it's a very similar approach to something that companies like Apple or Samsung do when they make this walled garden ecosystem where most features are available if you stay in this ecosystem and give money to the company. So this happens in this particular case as well. So why I think this is a really bad move from the Synology? As I said, obviously the company users will probably continue using their devices, but for let's say home users or small professionals who relied on these devices for their professional work, let's say a photographer or musician or a videographer who want a device just to buy it, to store their data and not think about whether their data is available, that basically so that the device will just think for them. This is a very bad thing, because if you look at this post that was posted on the Synology subreddit by the user Imperialist, they've been keeping a list of things that users have lost along the way. And so the list is from 2021, and as you can see, the Synology removed support for various USB devices, also removed support for drop support for HVC, which is a very popular codec. If you have any modern phone, then this codec will be in that phone, and limiting file system support, media server functionality. So a lot of these things, and slowly, bit by bit, they remove stuff, and now they removed options from third-party hard drives. And I feel that if you're a home user of Synology, or if you are an end consumer, a small business, then you might wonder, well, okay, so they now they removed these features. They will remove features from the third-party hard drives. What will happen next, right? And this credibility that the company has, they will lose it. So I hope that they will change their mind. But even if they do, I still don't think that this is a very good deal. And I will explain you why. So what is actually, what does Synology offer with a NAS, or network attached storage? And if you don't know what a network attached storage is basically, it's this thing on the left in this diagram. It's a network attached storage server, and it stays on the network, whether it's Ethernet like on the picture or Wi-Fi, doesn't matter. And then all your clients, which are individual devices, either computers or laptops or mobile phones, can access the storage, whatever is on the server, and the server serves it to the consumer. Synology sells different kind of devices. So for example, this one, the white ones, are for home users. They are not very sophisticated. They offer the basic functionality of storing your files, backing it up, collaboration within the home users, or if it's a small office as well, managing photo collection and things like that. And then more advanced devices, they are a bit more powerful. They can be expanded with additional units. And Synology also offers this their own system, their own ecosystem, which is file sharing system, media sharing system. You can run your media server there. You can also back up all your Office specific files and so on. So when Synology was very easy and didn't do dumb decisions, it was a very convenient thing for people to buy, because you just bought it either without the hard drives or with the hard drives already pre-installed, and then you had it very easy to use, convenient web-based system. However, I argue that if you already know what a network attached storage is, let's say if you moved from your backups that you made on this just normal USB external hard drives over to the network attached storage, then the jump to just making your own server is very low. And you don't need to, let's say, already build your own server. For example, you can buy an old Dell Optiplex workstation and just attach to it the external drive like this, or internal drive. It is quite easy. And if you want just network attached storage without necessarily a backup, a lot of modern routers have this functionality as well. So plug in the USB hard drive to the router, and probably a modern router will make it available on your network, and then you can access and store data there. Where it gets interesting is if you want to do more. So if you want to have a home media server, if you want to stream movies from it, if you want to download files on it, if you want to start your own Minecraft server, then it gets interesting. And I must say that Synology devices, although they look pretty and they are expandable, but for the price that they cost, so let's say this one, the 6-bay one, for the 6 hard drives is 500 euros without the hard drives, obviously. I don't think it offers that much of juice to handle a lot of concurrent tasks and parallel activities. And 6 or 7 years ago, I had the same thoughts. I wanted to move away from having one separate storage drive. I wanted to, because it's heavy and I didn't want to always plug it in. I thought, okay, I might as well go for network attached storage, and then Synology was an obvious choice. And then I was looking at the features of it, and then I realized, okay, then for example, if I want to stream a 4K movie to my TV, that might not be possible, because only most expensive Synology disk station back then, so 6-7 years ago, offered this functionality. And then the price also didn't really look very nice to me, because compared to PCs, I could build a very small but powerful PC for this money. I can't buy all the hard drives for it, but I thought, okay, then perhaps I can go with a used hardware and see where it brings me. And that's what I did. So I went and built myself a home server from a used hardware, and I will show you which hardware I chose back then. And obviously, well, it was 6 or 7 years ago. Prices change, of course, but it will give you a reference point, because back then I managed to build just the home server, just the hardware without the hard drives, much cheaper than the 6-bay Synology disk station. And the configuration that I chose allowed me to have 6 hard drives as well. So what did I choose? I chose, first of all, let's start with a case. So I chose a Fractal Design Node 304. This is a Mini-ITX tower case, and I will show you a picture in a couple of seconds. With a very small power supply, I chose a Mini-ITX motherboard, and this motherboard, it had two 1 gigabit ports as well as Wi-Fi. So I thought I could, if I will not have an Ethernet for it, I could also run it through Wi-Fi. Intel Core i5 8400 processor. I only bought this processor because it was available used for cheap. I think it was like 60 euros. And this is a very good price for this processor. It's still very powerful. It can handle a lot. It has integrated graphics. And I paired it with a 16 gigs of RAM, which is also plenty for a home server because it doesn't serve a lot of users, only me and my wife. So it ran me less than this 6 bay disk station. But what I also did, I bought used hard drives. And this is a bit of a weird topic. A lot of people don't want to buy used hard drives because you don't have warranty on them. However, I found a guy who managed his own data center. So he was using the ones that basically ran out of warranty. They were still pretty good. So I bought, as you can see, WD Red 3 terabytes one, 6 pieces. They're very healthy, and I never had a problem with the RAID on them. So let me show you some pictures. So building a home server is very easy. It's basically the same way as you build a PC. You have your motherboard, you install your CPU with your fan, you put it in the motherboard with a power supply, and then you put your hard drives in the base. So Node 304, despite being a very small, very nice cube of a case, it holds 6 hard drives. Then you usually install the operating system. I installed Ubuntu back then with a UI, but of course it's a server, so you have to disable AUI later if you want to save, well, energy. Then you close it up, and then it usually stood on the bookshelf connected to the Ethernet and the power supply. And it was very silent. So right now it stands under my desk, right near my feet, and it still doesn't make any sound. So I'm very happy with it, and it works flawlessly for the last 7 years. One small note before I forgot. So as you can see, I have 6 hard drives, and I bought this motherboard because it had 6 SATA ports, as you can see. However, because I wanted to install my operating system not on the hard drive but on the M2 drive, as you can see in the bottom, turned out that this one M2 obviously will take one of the SATA bandwidth. So I ended up with 5 SATA ports, and therefore I opted for a PCIe NAS card. So if you end up in the same stupid situation as I am, well, first of all, don't just plan for your SATA ports. But if you will end up there, there are plenty of options. I forgot which card I bought back then, but a lot of cards are available with extra SATA ports, and you plug them in. It's a PCIe, and then it just works. So there you go. So let's quickly compare the features, in my opinion. Again, this is not something that is set in stone, but from what I think about the Synology and what advantages you get with your home free server. First of all, you can always upgrade your home server. You can upgrade hard drives, you can upgrade a CPU, you can do anything with it independently from each other. So every part of the home server, whether it's a case or USB peripheral, you can do it. You can put any storage device, and with the Synology you can only put Synology storage device in. you can have full expandability with your home server, whether it's PCIe or USB. And with Synology, well, you can only have the ones that they allow you to. You can repair any software or hardware issues on your home server if you have the will to do so. Whether with Synology, you either have to rely on the warranty or the expensive claim if you're out of it. And in general, the home server, as I said, you can either build it yourself from used parts. You can buy new ones, of course, but that will be more expensive. Or you can buy an old Optiplex Dell, or you maybe want to repurpose your old laptop. That is also possible, and then you will get your home server. You just need to go through the hassle of installing your favorite version of Linux. There are plenty of operating systems for network attached storages. Now, you might ask, isn't a device like this unreliable? First of all, you assemble it yourself, right? Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe the part is faulty or something like this, and you expect from a company like Synology, from a big corporation, that they have a stricter quality control. Well, I would say yes and no. First of all, if you buy good parts and you know what you're buying and you assemble it carefully, then you can be pretty sure that it will work. Obviously, I would not recommend it for mission critical or health critical applications, but as a home server, I don't see a problem there. And second of all, if you dedicate all your resources and all your files that they will be stored on the network attached storage, and you don't back up your network attached storage, then it doesn't matter whether you buy Synology or make your own home server, because if something happens and somebody spills water on your home server or Synology and it stops working and your data is gone, then it's gone. So even I always have an external cold backup available. So always back up your backup. And that goes for any kind of situation. So network attached storage is not your backup. It's a storage and media server, and your backup is usually another device that is cold and that you check from time to time and make sure that you have it in multiple places. Okay, now let me tell you what options do you have after you have your home server. So what can you do with it? And first of all, let me show you the dashboard of how my home server looks. So this is the system information about my home server. As you can see, the processor information, the processor that I just showed you, that it runs within the server. The system uptime, it was up 28 days from the last time it was rebooted when I upgraded some packages. Temperature, local disk space, virtual memory, and so on. This is WebMin, so this is like an administration portal that you can install on any system, and it allows you to, well, not use command line, but just log in and do all kind of things. You can run some updates, you can install packages, you can also check the networking, you can also check your hardware. So for example, this is my main storage unit. This is all my 6 hard drives in RAID 6 dual distributed parity mode. That means that at least 2 hard drives need to fail. So at least 3 hard drives need to fail for me to lose my data. And other people run it with RAID 5, where you only can lose 1 hard drive, and then if you lose another one, then you lose your data. But I thought, okay, I better be safe than sorry, and I have it on RAID 6. And for example, you can also check your smart status, so the health of your hard drives. This is the information that Synology doesn't want to give you unless you buy their own hard drives, and yet it's available fully in the open source software of WebMin if you run it on your home server. So this is one thing. Then of course you can run something like this. So this is a torrent client where you can see that I, well, downloaded and now seed some Ubuntu disk images. It's very useful. You don't need to download torrents on your own computer. You can download it on your server, so that's useful. Next thing is media streaming. I use Plex, and there is another software. Some people use Jellyfin, but I'm still sticking with Plex. It works for me. It is not open source, but it's free, and there is a paid tier if you want extra features. But if you want just to stream your movies and shows at home, then free is good enough. Then you have 4K, and if you want extra features like HDR or 4K outside your home network, you will need to pay for Plex Pass. But basically what Plex is, well, your Netflix and Apple Music or Spotify at home. So you can stream your music, any media then you have in your server. You can also watch live TV, and Plex themselves has some free movies. So this is my instance. As you can see, this is free offering from Plex. If you're into this kind of movies, some of them are quite nice. For example, Mirror by Tarkovsky. You can also watch live TV if you want, or you can connect it to your own media library and stream your own shows and your own movies. Now, what about files? And for this, you can install, well, at least I did, Nextcloud. Nextcloud is a replacement for, well, let's say it's a Dropbox on steroids. So it allows you to sync your files. It allows you to also sync your photos from all your devices. It has apps for both iOS and Android. You can also do calls, chats, and video conferences, work with Office files, use maps, and so on. I use it for file sync, basically kind of like Dropbox. And as you can see, this is the interface. So it also has notes. You can also connect it to the music on your server. You can do notes, and there are also, you can connect these notes to any of the, for example, Simple Note app if you have one on your either computer or on your phone. And there are tasks and things like this. These are the files that I sync, and it has photos. You can have multiple people, of course, on the Nextcloud server. Notes and musics and tasks. And then maps. And what's interesting about maps is that it's an OpenStreetMap project. So it also lives on your Nextcloud, basically on your home server. You do not upload it anywhere. So if you can see that I have my pictures shown on the map, it just means that Nextcloud mapped it for me locally. I don't need to upload these images to Apple or anywhere else. And other people do much more with their home servers. So you can go to subreddits like home server to have some inspiration. For example, connecting security cameras to it or doing home automation. There is also nice community data hoarder. Another one for TrueNAS. TrueNAS is an operating system for NAS servers. If you don't want to use just the normal Linux like I do, but I'm a little bit lazy and old school, so I decided to go with the things that I know, which is Ubuntu Linux. And finally, apart from using Nextcloud to sync your items, you can also use fantastic things like Vorta and Borg Backup. So this is the interface for it, and it's connected to the repository of on my local home server, and basically it backs up and deduplicates data regularly, and I can always mount any backup back and restore it if I want. It's a much better option than Time Machine from the Mac, in my opinion. So this is another feature, another nice feature of the run your own home server. You don't need to use only one solution, for example, Time Machine, but you can also opt for something like Borg backup and using a Vorta application to back up your data. So in conclusion, what can I say? I wanted to make this video in response to this news. I find this news and this decision by Synology quite sad. As I already mentioned, check out the Louis Rossmann video. I think he describes it and talks about it much better, and how horrible this is, this movement of many companies to create this walled garden just to maximize their revenue. However, I thought this is a nice opportunity to tell you how easy it is, or maybe perhaps not easy, but interesting and challenging to create your own home server, run your own hardware, run your own systems, your backups, your maps, and get into control of your data, and also get better performance, I would argue better value for your money, and also total control over your data and hardware. So don't let companies bring you into the walled garden, I would say. So finally, I already mentioned that you can go to this nice subreddit, so home server, data hoarder, and true NAS, if you want to have more inspiration and learn and decide what you want to do, how you want to build your home server. There is also this fantastic video from Volkan's channel about how he modified and created the perfect NAS case from the Fractal Design Node 304. This is the same case that I used for my home server, and it's a fantastic video and a great adventure in things that you can do if you have a desire and creativity to make your PC or home computer prettier and better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to perhaps make your own home server instead of buying an off-the-shelf product that from a company that don't really respect you that much. If you have any questions about building your home server, or any advice that you might ask, I will be happy to answer it in the comments. So feel free to write and give also your opinion, what you think about it. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.